We both moved our chairs in sync. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to another edition of Men Are So Smart. And I'm Lou Gallagher.
I'm Corvette.ronnie.
Today we're talking about one of my favorite topics, beer. But more impressively, this beer. And today we'll share with you some things you should know before drinking a Corona. And I thought, to be in the spirit of things, I should get our old school can opener here. And in the amount of time it takes us to do this topic, I hope to accomplish something. Ronnie, would you like a beer?
You know what? I have to drive, unfortunately.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm playing a driving game on my iPad a little later.
Yeah, you don't want to be messed up for that. All right, some things you should know before drinking a Corona. Number one, first of all, you're probably calling it the wrong thing. It's not a Corona. What's it say on the box?
Corona Extra.
Corona Extra.
Please.
It's totally acceptable and 100% less obnoxious to order a Corona at the bar, but the beer's official name, Corona Extra. Go for the full name when you want to be a little
snooty.
Yeah. I don't get a chance to be snooty very often. All right.
Corona's label is a piece of art. Let's take a look at this. Ooh, very nice. The yellow circle in the center represents the sun setting over the blue ocean.
Yeah, the ocean.
Ooh, nice. The blue strip behind it, that's the ocean. Also, the symbolism doesn't stop there. The creatures flanking the crown on the top of the sun are called Gryphons. They have a lion's body and an eagle's head. People have said that about me before, also.
I'm looking right at it.
And they're designated guardians of every bottle. But yet, it only takes a can opener to open it. You can't. They're not doing a great job of guarding.
Well, they're long since retired, kind of like you. They don't do much of anything. Number 3. Mexicans enjoyed the beer long before Americans ever even tasted it. Grupo Modelo, Corona's parent company, first brewed the beer as a Pilsner in 1925. Remember that?
I'm sure.
A couple decades later, Corona was the Mexican beer, and Americans took notice. However, it wasn't officially exported to the U.S. until the 80s, and boy, did it catch on fast and become trendy.
So, when you drank Mexican beer before, do you remember what you drank? Do you remember what brand it was? I have a feeling you probably drank Dos Equis.
Oh, yeah.
That was what we all started on as our Mexican beer, although I'm not really sure is it really Mexican? I think it is.
I don't know. You know, it's funny because this says brewed and bottled by Cervecería Modelo Mexico, made in Mexico, and, well, it says imported by Crown Imports Chicago. So...
Making Chicago great again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's not really coming from Mexico.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Next, Corona's stats are impressive. The numbers speak for themselves. So here goes. When Corona Extra was introduced by the U.S., by Mexico in 1981, it became the fastest growing beer in America's history.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Who knew? Now it's the country's best-selling imported beer and the 5th most popular beer overall. And that's just the regular stuff. The light variety is number 1 imported beer and the 6th best-selling beer overall. That is pretty impressive.
No one knows why you put a lime on top. I would have had a lime, but the gas station didn't have one. Because I only shop at the finest gas stations. You know, no, let me tell you first. The internet has obviously come up with its fair share of theories. Some say the lime wedge was initially used to keep flies from crawling in the mouth of the bottle.
That makes perfect sense.
While others say one clever bartender made a bet that he could start a trend of adding limes to Corona Extra, and it stuck, literally. Another idea, the lime combats the skunky taste the beer gets from being exposed to light. Others say the likeliest answer is that it's all just a marketing ploy. And you know what? I hate trendy stuff. And I almost look down at people that get consumed by these trends. For the longest time, I watched friends put limes in Coronas on, and I thought, I'll never do that. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Who would want to put a lime in a beer and affect the taste?
You know what? I think it works, though.
It works great.
It works. I mean, it really...
I finally gave up on that whole thing. And
Yeah.
I'm not good with change. I'm telling you that right now. But I said, screw this. I want a lime. I'll try. And it was good. So I recommend it.
Yeah. Next, you won't find Corona in Spain. What? You only get your hands on Corona, which, newsflash, is the same thing. Legend has it. A Spanish winemaker already owned the trademark for Coronas in the country, so the beer brand had to get creative. Corona also sells Coronitos.
Easy for you.
Yeah, in the States, which are smaller. They're 7-ounce bottles. And they're often used for bulldog margaritas.
You know, I think that's that margarita that has a beer in it. Have you ever seen that before?
I have not seen that.
Okay, well, we'll take you out for one of them.
I don't think I'd
right
like
after
it,
the
though.
show.
Yeah.
You can drive. All right, next, 1987. 6 years into this role, 2 Nevada grocers pulled their entire stock of Corona from the shelves when they heard that Mexican brewery workers were peeing in the beers sold to U.S.
Curse you.
As it turns out, a local Heineken distributor started that rumor. Those beer guys don't play nice.
That's corporate espionage.
I think it is.
It really is.
Someone's going to pay the
dirty.
price.
That's dirty.
As it turns out, but it took years for Corona to gain back its popularity.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
That's awful. Next, has a prominent role in the Fast and the Furious movie franchise.
Tell me more.
At his house party in the first movie, Vin Diesel's character Dom makes it very clear that he's a Corona guy by telling Brian, who was Paul Walker,
Right.
that he could have any brew he wanted as long as it was Corona. You'll find him sipping Mexican beer throughout movies 2 through 7, and we're sure he'll get some screen time in the 8th installment, which hits theaters. I think it's actually now. I think it's just been released. Yeah.
A week ago.
So we will all have to go see that and see if we can spot some Coronas in there.
Now, some would say, Lou, is Corona sponsoring your show? No.
Not yet.
No, they could. It
Near
just
future.
really, this whole segment was just an opportunity for me to have a beer.
And it worked.
That's 7 minutes of your life you're not going to get back, Ron. Okay.
I was just going to be on farmersonly.com anyway, so it doesn't matter.
All right, so next time you're thinking about having a nice, refreshing beer on a warm spring day, check out a Corona Extra. Nice and cold with a lime in it. It's the official beer of Men Are So Smart.
Yes, it is.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.